you're going to see those, changes that suddenly, over a short period of time, they can't do what they used to do. And
hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I just want to start this off by saying thank you so much to every single beautiful bitch who is subscribed to me. I appreciate you. I love you. I don't know what I'd do without you. You guys just helped me get to 300 subscribers, and that is, for me, mind-blowing. I know I said this when I hit like 100, 200, but that shit will never get old to me. I think it's awesome that anybody at all actually subscribe to me and cares to hear my opinion. That's crazy. So to celebrate, we're gonna make fun of Joe Biden for a little while. Just kidding, but we are going to discuss whether or not he should be president. And not by, voting fraud standards, but merely by age. Yes, I'm going to be discriminating against the elderly a little bit in this video. So if that offends you, fuck off, watch somebody else. The brain is truly an amazing thing, and it's also terrifying. Unfortunately, by looking up all the shit I looked up for this video, I got a little freaked out, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to see myself go with dementia or Alzheimer's. I don't. It sounds so horrible, but it's so common. The human brain starts shrinking around age 30. So I'm literally at my peak right now, which I'm a little disappointed this is as good as it's gonna get. I know I could eat healthy and exercise, but I'm not gonna do that. So this is as good as it's gonna get.
Our brain and nervous system are made of millions of cells known as neurons. The aging process of our brain begins in our late 20s. The brain begins to lose neurons.
Neurons in our brain that help our memory, our complex behaviors and skills, and all that shit. All the shit that makes us superior. Over time, it eventually stops working. The receptors stop working, and therefore we stop working. At the mere age of 65, Alzheimer's is a ginormous fucking risk. You have a great chance of having it. Isn't that lovely? And by the time you hit 70, 80, you probably got it.
The biggest risk at the age of 65 is to get Alzheimer's. And when they do, the brain tissues diminish faster than it would normally do.
I never want to have it, but I probably will. Our physical cognitive skills go, our mental cognitive skills go, everything just fucking goes. It stops working. It doesn't remember how to do anything. Which, wow, what a major fucking flaw in us. Do animals get dementia? Does anybody know? You think I might have came across that doing this, but I never saw anything about animals with dementia. Do you think they get it? If you actually have an answer, a legitimate answer, please let me know so I don't even have to look it up. That would be so fucking appreciated. Dementia affects 1 in 14 people over 65 and 1 in 6 people over 80. That is terrifying. I hope I live to be 70. I'd rather die of cancer or something. Give me tit cancer, let me go that way. I don't want dementia. So according to Article 2 of the wonderful US Constitution, you have to be at least 35 to be president. Other requirements too, but I'm just talking about age specifically for this video. 35. Nobody that I could find talked about a maximum age. To me, that's an obvious idea that we should have had by now. Why is there no maximum age limit? Why are we letting the elderly run our country? Literally, the nursing home is running our country.
Why'd you get up?
Besides Kamala Harris, I would the top 5 people in charge. Crusty, musty, dusty, old as hell. We let them run our country. Why? People with dementia, some of the big red flags are things like inability to cook dinner or put together a meal anymore. You have problems with short-term memory, remembering where they're at.
Welcome to Kingswood Community Center. Actually, that's the one down I used to work. As a joke. You didn't know where we were anyway. I don't have time to do that. Deal with the needs of the people of Arizona and the rest of the country.
Or wondering what they're doing.
My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. See you.
Okay.
Come on.
Ask the same questions over and over, or repeat the same story over and over.
Be allowed to overshadow the reason for the protest. The act of protesting should never be allowed to overshadow the reason for the protest in the first place. You can't allow the protesting to overshadow the purpose of the protest. So
obviously these things happen to everybody at some point, but when it's constant, that's when it's not normal. Side note, one thing I found weird that I don't know if I'm just high or I just am too stupid to have thought of it before, but why do we remember speech? Like, everything else goes, but we remember how to communicate, just like random sounds that humans put together. We have the ability to remember that of all things. It's just weird to me. Joe Biden actually has quite the medical history. And I'm actually not just like singling him out because there have been a shit ton of crusty presidents. He's just one of many, but he's the current one, so he's gonna get picked on a little. I don't feel bad. We are all aware that Joe Biden is losing his goddamn mind.
we hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. You know how we talk about it. Are we the people?
He's in denial. His family's in denial. That psychotic wife of his is publicly in denial, even though she knows she's his caretaker.
4 more years of George. Georgia, he is going to find ourselves in a position where, if Trump gets elected, we're going to be in a different world.
So, starting in 1988, Joe Biden had 2 aneurysms.
And I was hospitalized for a long time ago with an aneurysm,
One of the 2 actually did rupture, which resulted in deep vein thrombosis, pulmonary embolism. I don't think I said those right, but there you go. That's what he got. After you have 1 aneurysm, you are 10% more likely to have another, which he hasn't yet, but I mean, TikTok, I feel like it's time. He has had surgeries in his sinuses and nasal passages because he had sleep apnea. He was first coming into the White House as VP. He had an irregular heart rhythm. By the time he went in for his real exam, it was gone. He takes cholesterol medicine, shit for seasonal allergies. He has had his gallbladder removed. He's had several non-melanoma skin cancers removed. A lot. I think there was something to do with his prostate at one point. I think he had an enlarged prostate or something. I don't know. I think that's what it had to be because I was reading it. I was like, hee hee. I'm a 12-year-old and I find stuff like that funny. December of 2019, his people, I don't know, what do you call them? The people who work for him. They released his medical history, which gave the public some understanding of the recent things that have, happened to him in his body and his health. Because the last time he had made one public was in 2008 when he ran with Obama. So this was an updated thing, and it was only 3 pages. People like John McCain, 1,500 pages, which I understand wanting to be thorough, but it sounds like he just wanted to talk about himself a little too much.
I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
In case you can't tell, I never liked John McCain. I don't care if he's dead. I never liked him. But when those got released, the doctor was like, oh, Biden, he's so healthy. He's in great shape. He works out 5 times a week. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. I don't believe the workout thing because that man got knocked over by wind going upstairs. Basically, it was just his doctor came out and made some bullshit up so that the media would just spread its seed all over America.
Biden's campaign has released a detailed summary of the candidate's medical history, including a note from his doctor that says, quote, he's a healthy, vigorous 77-year-old male and, quote, physically fit enough to handle the presidency.
But Obama's former doctor, before he got into the White House, his doctor of 22 years, said he doesn't think Biden is in great shape at all. At all. He's like, how can you say that and then say that he has had all these issues? It's several medical issues that leave him more at risk for other issues, like a stroke, death. He also made a point that it's kind of odd that with the 2 aneurysms he had, even if they were from 88, that they didn't release an MRI or CT scan just to like reassure, to show that there's been no damage, like that there's been no long-term damage from it, which, yeah, pretty fucking weird. When the doctor checked his heart rate again recently, they said that he had a good pulse, but an irregular rhythm. So whatever the fuck that means, it doesn't sound good though. It sounds to me like something that could go very wrong very easily. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. To the average person, a similar IQ to this potato, you probably think the same thing. Dan, do you remember when Bernie Sanders had that heart attack suddenly, and then he was like out campaigning like a little while later? That actually just makes me think, wow, what if Bernie Sanders would have gone there? Would the stress have made him have another heart attack, possibly die? Who knows?
You know, during this campaign, I've been doing, in some cases, 3 or 4 rallies a day, running all over the state. Just was more fatigued than I usually have been. I should have listened to those symptoms.
And if you're a political campaign, you don't want the word heart attack out there. Sanders is 78 years old. He's the oldest candidate in the race. You know, the top 3 candidates are all 70 and above. You want your candidate to be seen as healthy, as vital.
But that is exactly why we should have a limit of how old you can be when you run for president, how old you'll be when you finish your term. I don't think we should have people who are in their 80s running our country. If you think that's wrong, fine, but I think you're wrong. I have expressed my opinions about this before in a crowd of older people. They weren't quite Joe Biden's age, but you know, within like a 20-year range of that, and they got mildly offended, to say the least. They called me ageist. Do we just throw "ist" on the end of everything and consider it real once we do that? And then start calling everybody who don't agree with that? I kind of thought that was like a joking term, but then someone actually used it on me and I was like, damn, people really are that stupid. I sincerely apologize for my non-stop spitting in this, but I am sitting in a spinny chair. And like I said, I'm a 12-year-old, so I must spin. So there was a study conducted by the American Foundation for Aging, and their research concluded that Joe Biden has a 79% chance of making it through this first term, and if he were to have a second, he'd have a 70% chance. I can't believe people put numbers to this shit. It makes it sound so dark, but also so funny. They also concluded Trump had a slightly lower percentage. I can't remember what it was, but it was literally like 1 or 2 down from Joe Biden, but basically because he's fat. Trump's issues are fixable, manageable, and he could change if he really wanted to. Joe Biden's are stuck with him for life. So I'm going to be upfront. I would love for Trump to run just because it's Trump. I know that he means well. He means what he says. He's going to do in his heart what is best for America. But also we run the risk of having a president die. I mean, I've heard that he might, like, if he were to run, he might be like hooking up with DeSantis, and that shit would be fucking amazing. And then it'd be like, okay, Trump could die because it's like Trump Jr. took over. It would be actually kind of amazing to have him as a president too. I was kind of worried that in 2024, like, they're gonna be like head to head and shit's gonna get ugly when it shouldn't have to. So I'd be okay with him going and DeSantis coming in as VP. Like, I'd be fine with that. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. I love Trump, you know this, but his age is a concern for me. He's like on that really fine line, because he's what, 72, 73, he'd be like 76 running. He'd be literally 80 years old or somewhere. I don't know. Why do I feel like I have his age wrong? If I have his age wrong, I'll put it right here. But I feel like we need that. We need like the Trump bitch slap, like, to America again. Like, yeah, you thought you had it bad. My point is that I truly, to my core, believe that there should be some kind of limit or something done about actual mental and physical capacity, not just like something that can be bought, paid for, and fucking push as a narrative. So imagine being president of the United States and people actually come out with a study about how likely you are to actually survive your presidency. I can't get over that. I can't get over that. That's fucking hysterical to me. Surely I see no harm in at least looking into what we could possibly do. If not put an age limit, do something to prevent people like Joe Biden who are not there. They're definitely going, and it's really sad almost to watch this man lose his mind in front of all of us. Like, why is his wife doing this to him? I will never, ever, ever be convinced that she has a soul. I'm not even religious, but I'm pretty sure she is the devil. The way she laughs and giggles, like, oh, it's insulting that anyone would question Joe Biden's abilities.
No, it's ridiculous. I mean, Joe's on the phone every single minute of the day talking to governors who are calling him, and Nancy Pelosi, he's on the Zoom, he's doing fundraisers, he's doing briefings. I mean, he doesn't stop from 9 in the morning till 11 at night. So that, that's ridiculous.
But let's talk about the...
Which is it, bitch? How many titles do you need to have? I'm so sick of this generation that just needs everything to be labeled, like, micro-labeled at this point, like, doctor. She is a lot like the Clintons in a way, that she's definitely just seizing the opportunity. I don't think she's in love with that man. Anyways, so let me know your thoughts below, if you agree with me or not, and why. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, give it a like if you did in fact like it. All the cool kids are doing it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for 300 subscribers. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, spectacular, lovely, awesome day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.